Hello and welcome to my kinesiology room. Every now and again, I like to come on and do a little kinesiology session for you, the people in my YouTube community, because on YouTube, we love to create a community and it gives us a great opportunity to come together. And in your comments and feedback, then I'll know what you like and don't like, and I'll try to cater for that. But what I really like to do is to pick up on the energy that is going to be of most benefit to all of you listeners. So if you like what I'm saying today and what I'm doing, please put a like in the little comment and do a comment. So you know what I mean. So I've been meaning to do this video for about 2 weeks, and it's all around change. And I feel like we're constantly talking about change. You know, the world's changing. It's chaotic. But in many ways, that's good. I'm a very strong Aquarian, so I love a bit of change. I love shaking things up, even though I'm what they call a fixed sign in astrology. But there's definitely a lot of change happening. And I thought we were going to talk about change generally, but this is quite specific. So I've done a little bit of testing because I'm using my kinesiology. I should introduce myself. My name is Maureen Callister. I've been doing kinesiology, which is specialized kinesiology using muscle testing to tap into the energy of whoever or whomever I'm working with. So normally that's an individual, but when I do these group things, I'm tapping into the energy of this whole community. So I'll be muscle testing. I'll just show you, I'm testing the little muscle here and using that to direct me to find the most appropriate information for you, and also looking for remedies that'll help to shift us forward. And we'll do some healing as part of all of that. So take your time, settle down, come and join me for a little bit of healing and revealing, and we'll see what else comes up today. So we're definitely starting off with change. But what I got very quickly is this is an opportunity to clean your slate and start afresh. As I said, I was going to do this 2 weeks ago. So at the 1st of July seemed like a really good opportunity. Start of the new financial year. We do that here in Australia. But the start of a new month, second half of the year, there's a lot of new astrology. I love watching it. I don't know a whole lot about it, but go and have a look at some of the astrology for July if you want to get a feel for that. But this was all about clean the slate. Leave the old behind. And I feel like I've been saying that, as I said, for a couple of years. But this is very much about changing your thinking. Let go of your limiting beliefs, your old habits, and with that new slate, start fresh. And the main theme here is connecting to your joy and your purpose. So I did a little video on, it would be one of the short videos on Facebook and Instagram. And I was talking about, I asked the question, how well do you do joy? Because a lot of us have been brought up in cultures all around the world where the burden of life has been seen as, the right thing to do. You should work hard, you should toil, you should sacrifice yourself and martyr yourself. I mean, I often talk about that whole thing in business, in corporate, where they go, you need to give 110%. It's just ludicrous these days. Then you've got nothing left. So we don't want our lives, our families, our work, our health to be a burden to us. And in the pillar code, that's one of the modalities I used to do a lot of work with, but I still love the theory behind it. And one of the pillars, pillar 2, is about the pillar of love and joy. So rather than your soul being burdened with whatever you're choosing to do in this life, how you fill your day, how you fill your life, that is better for you and better for the whole world if that can bring you joy. So instead of and I love talking about the family and the children because they're a great example of this. It's so easy to slip into allowing our relationships, our children, and our homes and our partners to become burdens to us. We want to do a really good job. We want to be great parents. We want to be a good partner. And therefore, we set these high standards. In order to do a good job, I need to do more. Whereas it becomes a burden through that thinking in rather than staying in the joy of choosing to enjoy, to find the joy in those relationships and those duties. We need to do them, but let's enjoy them. Then we've got this lovely positive vibration that's going out and being shared with the people in our lives and uplifting them. Because if you are a parent who is burdened in their life, you are sending that heavy, burdened energy into the relationships, and your children are picking that up. And we don't want our children to feel like they are a burden to us. That is going to breed guilt and shame in them because you're overdoing. The balance is distorted, and they will pick up that you are doing too much for them, that they will then feel guilty. And martyrs are really good at this. So if you find that you're over giving, overdoing for other people, especially your family, please pull it back and try and find the balance. But that's all going to come up today. I'm kind of doing the whole thing. So again, if you like this information, please do a little thumbs up in the comment. I really want to get this information out there and help more people. So let's get into a couple of the key things that are going to show up today. I use my muscle testing to tap into inspiration and themes for you. And the first one that's come up is from the Star Dragon cards. I use oracle cards, inspiration cards, and tarot cards to give me themes and information that should be able to help you, I hope. Okay, the first one is called Effort and Conquering Your Demons. So this is saying put your effort into doing what you choose to do, but not in the negative. So the old habit of overworking, overdoing is the demon. The burden is the demon because it's sucking the life out of your activities. So I read it here for you. It says, they thought they had you cornered. They were wrong. They said that you had it coming. Also wrong. Each one of our adversaries, and here we're talking about your beliefs and your habits. So think of them as like little demons. So each of your adversaries fell by their own hand as you rose up and lay waste to those who would keep you from your purpose. Demons be damned. Take action. Take right action and right all of the wrongs and find your power. Another little bit to this is get going. If you want something, if you want to break free, now is the time to start your climb as you defeat all the opponents and overcome obstacles. Stay focused and keep working hard, putting in the right effort. So it's not overdoing. It's not burdened doing. It's not laborious, duty, responsibility laden work or effort. It's effort that comes from joy. And our joy is our purpose. So when you're able to connect to your purpose, then that purpose will bring you joy. I often say to my clients, where you can, don't do anything in your life unless you can turn it into a joyful experience. If you're going to make the dinner each evening, put the joy into it, otherwise don't do it. Give your family some toast and cheese or some scrambled eggs, right? Find some leftovers, get something out of the freezer. If you haven't got the energy to find the joy to put love into the activity. Find joy in everything you do, and gratitude will help you get there. So, to be grateful that you can make a meal, that you can sit down together, that you have a beautiful children and a partner and a home, and all those lovely things that we should enjoy. The other card that came up was interesting. It's called Redemption. So, this is an interesting theme. So, it's a beautiful card. This one comes from the Path of Light Oracle. It says, no matter what you've done or not done, no matter the severity of your mistakes, you can always find your way back to the good and back to God. All that is required is the desire to change your ways and the willingness to devote yourself to the path of wisdom and love. What I think we're talking about here is our guilt. So we feel that we haven't, if we feel we haven't done enough and we're pushing ourselves forward to do more because we feel not enough, either I am not enough yet, or I haven't done enough yet, or I don't have enough yet. That energy puts us into greed, the greed of self. I want more from me, or I greed from life, whether it's a promotion or more money or a longer holiday. I want more of this. I don't have enough yet. Whereas if we can step into gratitude and have more appreciation and more joy for what we've experienced, then we don't need more. Okay. And also, the other thing I'm getting at there is we don't go into the guilt of not doing enough or being enough. When we're grateful and joyful for the experiences and the rewards that we already have, we let go of all of that. All of that just disappears. So there's a particular point that this card brings up, because it's talking about there is a lack of knowledge and incorrect knowledge. So I'm going to explain that a little bit more here. It says, in this context, lack of knowledge is being unaware of the spiritual nature of life, unaware of our connection to something greater than ourselves. So when we connect to spirit, we're connecting to something greater in us and in life. Incorrect knowledge is the things that we think we know that are mistaken. And one of the main things that I see with people when I help people to work with their purpose is that they often have a misperception around what they think their purpose is. One of the most common things that I find is that people think that their purpose is to take responsibility for other people, or and of course, they're not consciously thinking about that, but the thought is there that I am responsible for other people's happiness. And that's pretty well never true, except when you've got small children. You are responsible for your children and also responsible for giving them positive, loving, uplifting energy for them to thrive on. That's what we really want. Okay, so we've got a lack of knowledge or incorrect knowledge. The primary example of this is the idea of separation. The world operates under the assumption that we are all separate, unrelated bits of material substance, when in truth, we are one and connected. And again, when we connect to soul, it is through the soul that we connect to our oneness. And that helps us to find our joy, because there is so much more joy when we connect with others. The lack of this knowledge and the feeling of separation leads to all of our suffering. If we are ready and devoted, and if we commit ourselves to our new path, right? We've cleaned the slate, we're connecting to our purpose, we're lifting our vibration, connecting to our soul, that is the new path, and to living in alignment with our ideals and our Dharma, then we can find our way back to our true self, We can find redemption, and we can leave our separate self behind. So it's connecting to ourself through our soul and finding more of our self through our soul that will help us to find our purpose and our joy. Okay, they were the two cards we've had so far. And then the next thing that came up was one of the essence cards. So these are the essences of change from my good friend Geraldine. And this one is called Ribbon Plant, and it's about perseverance. So it's another reinforcement along the same theme. So you'll see a very clear theme here in this. So when I read these words, I'll do my best to read them fluently. I'm not the best at reading. Please just close your eyes and listen and receive the energy of the words as we go. High aspirations for self, multi-talented and impatient. One often feels frustrated and becomes overeager. Feeling detached or disconnected from their own goals, these people become easily bored, often discarding their current goals to seek new ones. These people will often support others to improve their status, then lose their own position. So you can see that very clearly talks about how we disconnect from ourselves and our own goals, what our needs are and what we want to create joy for ourselves and our families. But we focus on other people to improve their status, but to lose our own position. That's the first paragraph. The next bit. There may be addictive habits relating to health, work, exercise, alcohol, prescribed or social drugs, and eating disorder patterns. This creates fluctuating highs and lows. They will either have long-term goals or none at all. Experiences deep depression and melancholy and feels disconnected. Often wanting security, self-expression, and self-respect. The remedy here is to clear your mind of impatience. Be calm. Continue in what is right for all and be mindful that you are not yet independent. Progress is achieved through the gradual development, understanding, and planned patience for yourself. Find adaptability, flexibility, and calm perseverance. It's a beautiful remedy, and it's clearly saying that if we set a clear goal to lift our own vibration and to give ourselves what we need and to look around us and look after our family without overextending, getting that balance, then we will have a much better success rate. And you'll feel good, and then everyone around us feels good. Okay. One last little remedy and insight that we have here. It's from another set of essences called the Power of Flower Essences, and this one is the fig. Now, this comes up a lot. Again, around balance. It's about balancing the yin and the yang, and also balancing the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. Fig essence is capable of restoring and enhancing memory, and it is excellent when doing past life or early childhood regression work. And we do a lot of that here in my clinic. This flower remedy also balances one's male and female elements at the cellular level, bringing the right and the left hemispheres of the brain into a state of equilibrium and restoring deep wisdom to the body. It also helps with the conception process for those finding it difficult to conceive. So just a little word that pops into my mind on that. The difficulty in being able to conceive often comes from the imbalance in the mind and therefore an imbalance in the body. If we are overdoing, then we are overgiving and the balance is upset. In order to restore the yin energy, which is the divine feminine energy, the yin energy is all about receptivity. So for all the women out there, are you better at receiving or are you better at giving? I think we all know the answer to that. We're all a little bit guilty, or sometimes a lot guilty, of overgiving. So please correct that little demon and try and find more time to receive. Allow other people the joy of assisting you and receiving that with generosity and gratitude. Okay, so the remedy there, again, restoring balance, restoring the left and the right hemisphere, and also restoring our ability to receive and conceive. So the divine feminine sits a lot in the solar plexus, which is here on the sacral chakra. It's all about receiving and creativity. We create from the womb. The creation of life comes from there. So coming back into the divine feminine, our beautiful yin energy, standing in the power and the purpose of the divine feminine in allowing us to create from a beautiful, full place, not from tiredness and overgiving and weakness, because you will not create well from there. You're creating from a deficit. As they say, you cannot give from an empty vessel. So fill up your vessel first and choose what is right for you and right for the world by restoring the balance of the giving and receiving. Let go of the guilt that you are not enough. Let go of the grief and the guilt for not having had enough, but allow yourself to receive everything you need from this beautiful light, from all this lovely energy that's pouring on the planet. When you listen to some of the astrology, there's a lot of talk about the solar flares and the sun being the center of our universe, pouring huge amounts of light onto the earth at the moment. And that's been happening for months, but it's really high at the moment. So there's beautiful light, beautiful energy, and allow yourself to receive and receive and receive. There is so much abundance when you connect with Mother Earth. It's beautiful. There was one more remedy, which was really interesting, the sagebush remedy. And that is very simple. It's looking at our old, well-worn patterns of addiction and attachment. Let me read it all to you. It says the sagebush flower remedy purifies the heart, the mind, and the body, accelerating personal evolution. So this is what we need to really elevate and find our purpose, our happiness, and joy. The remedy helps us to see through our old, well-worn patterns, addictions, and attachments so that negative thought forms and self-effacing habits can be eliminated. Combined with California poppy, it's a wonderful essence for freeing oneself from drug addictions or any other form of addictive characteristics. So letting go of the old overdoing. It couldn't be more simple. And simple is not always easy, but let's keep it simple and just find the little things that you can do every day to stop and pause and breathe. You'll see on my Instagram and my Facebook social media, I've been trying to put more and more of the little videos where we just stop and breathe with various inspiration, again from Mother Nature or from little short meditations. So just stopping and taking a few breaths every day is a great start to giving yourself what you need and calming the mind and the body and helping you to connect to your beautiful divine soul. So I think that's it for today. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I'm going to say one more time, please do a little like and a share and leave me a little comment if you like these videos. And I'll keep doing them for you for as long as you enjoy them. Thank you so much and God bless. Bye.